Howdy, CIS 102. Welcome to session 3 out of 16. For this session, this is the intro, like I mentioned last week, and I'll stop mentioning after today. I will put one of these at the on every Monday. I will put one of these in the session list so that you know exactly what to expect coming up for the next 7 days here of the session. So for this session, what we're going to do is look at chapter 2 in my IT lab. So what we're going to do is move over here to my other monitor so that you can see what the calendar holds for you this week. And I just want to essentially provide a recap of something from last session's breadcrumbs on what you have to do versus what you might need to do. So now you're joining me over here in my IT lab, and this is as close as I can get to the student view. It's supposed to look as similar as possible while still giving me, the instructor, some things that I should be able to see. So this is pretty close to the way that you'll see my IT lab. So what you'll see here is you'll have in the calendar, if you go ahead and click on that, you'll have to do completed and the assignment calendar. It's my suggestion, like I mentioned last week, that you skip this to do / completed. During the middle of this week, what I'm going to go ahead and do is fill out the rest of the entire semester's worth of work in my IT lab. This way, I always figure in the very, very beginning, we don't load you up with everything all at once. We kind of let you explore the space, and then we'll load you up with everything a little bit later. So the problem with the to-do / completed is it buries, by session 3, 4, 5, and 6. If you miss something, it buries it. I prefer to tell you to come here to the assignment calendar because everything is going to be due on Mondays. So today is the 31st, and this is, what was due today. Now, just like I mentioned last week in the breadcrumbs, some things you have to do, some things you might choose to do, and other things you have the opportunity to elect not to do. These things that say viewed here, so most of the time they have this chain icon. There's a couple of them that don't for videos, for example, but if it says not viewed, you are not required to do these. But I will remind you again here of what these are. These are the PowerPoint presentations, the audio presentations, the video presentations for the text material. So that means if you are an audio learner, so you listen by sound, if you are a visual learner, so you learn better with video, these are here to help supplement the text. Are they required? No, they are things that you have paid for that I think that you should have access to, that you may or may not elect to go do. These, on the other hand, that say started, these do represent assignments. So check your understanding. That's what this icon means. These are an assignment. Here's one for chapter 1. This is part 2. Check your understanding. If we scroll down, we have these that are called active help desks. These are things that you do as well. You can tell because it says not started. Now, what I will remind you of here again is even if you have completed any of these assignments one time and you don't like the grade that you got, you can do these again. As a matter of fact, if let's say that you are watching this video on September 1st, tomorrow, instead of today. And this, check your understanding part 1, is technically due yesterday for you in that case. Do it again. I will take any and all work late because I truly believe the following. Like I said before, I would rather you recoup every point that's possible. I would rather you truly understand the material as it's happening so that you are better off in the workforce, so that you are better off with all of the rest of your classes than whatever cosmic penalty I can give you for being late on something. I think it's not as productive in a course like this. So let's say it's September 5th and you're like, this check your understanding, I didn't get quite the grade I wanted to on there. You'll notice if I click these, this is actually called a hamburger icon. It's supposed to be the bun and the meat in the, I don't get it either. If you click on the hamburger icon, you can see view submissions. This is true on all of your assignments. So that means you can go back, you can see what was maybe incorrect, and you can fix it for the next time. The only score I'm going to see is whatever the best score you got was. So I really suggest that, especially on some of these, like the chapter projects, these are going to be due, these are going to have larger, rather, points values. Go back and do them again. Next week, when we get to some of the Office and the Microsoft Word things where you have big projects due in there, do them again. Get the points back. We're going to have a video on exactly how to see what the issues that you stumbled on were, and we're going to make those better. So those are just a reminder of what's here in my IT lab. I understand that this is for last week. For next week, for the upcoming session here, that would be due on the 7th, is Chapter 2. So we're still mostly focusing here on, the material from either the text or the e-text, which are both identical. And you'll notice that you have the same sorts of assignments, just now instead of Chapter 1, you've got Chapter 2. So we're going to switch back over to the camera and we'll just recap everything for you right there. So that's what we've got for this session. We've got Chapter 2, and all of that is located in my IT lab, the screen right over here that you guys cannot see. Just a reminder, if for whatever reason you were unable to complete the Chapter 1 material, it's okay. Go back and complete the Chapter 1 material. Also complete the Chapter 2 material. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I am saying this. If you haven't already read Chapters 1 and 2, a fine place to start for the week is reading the chapter. In this case, that's Chapter 2. So have at it. And remember, you guys have actually been doing a really good job with this. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to reach out and message me about them. It's the beginning of the course. I expect that with all of these additional barriers to entry, we've got COVID, we've got online, we've got other ergonomic bullshit we have to worry about. I'm trying to put in with one arm a desk right over here for my little man to start school this week. That's extra BS for me too. All of us have stuff we need to deal with. I think that this is as fine a time as any to look at all that stuff and go, we're going to deal with it. Don't worry about it. Take one step at a time, and we're all going to make it through. So we are all going to make it through. So Session 3 ends on the 7th of September. That's a week from today. Chapter 2 in my IT lab. Have at it, and good luck.